like TV.
Daegu is famous for its dog-shaped earthenware which is designed to be used as a kettle. The dog's body and the tail are empty so that one can pour water or tea into the body and pour it out through the tail. Around the body are heart-shaped wings. In the old days, Daegu people believed that the worship of dogs believing that they bring a good luck to people. They also believed that the dogs connected the living to the dead in heaven or hell. There is even a record that says that the dog's wings could help the dead fly.
Bronze Age, people used better farming tools made of bronze. This allowed them to discover newer, more successful farming methods. They also created a variety of tombs and earthenware. The most well-known kind of tomb is the dolmen. In Daegu, there were many dolmens. However, they have all but disappeared from our city. A dolmen is named for its shape as if like a small table. This made it a symbol of wealth for the person buried in it. A dolmen is a perfect example of Bronze Age craftsmanship.
Palm pattern pottery is a famous pottery style in Korea. This style was developed and used in the Neolithic age. The pattern is like that of a comb. A lot of pottery is found in Korea and is usually categorized by shape and color. People use comb pattern pottery to preserve food. The style has a long history, and the people in the Neolithic age believed that the comb pattern meant that rain would come often. The pottery was often egg-shaped and painted brown. Duck-shaped earthenware was usually made in Gaya. From the past, they believed water ducks and birds prevent bad ghosts and lead the souls of the dead to heaven or hell. In the area of Gaya, people hang wooden ducks on the wall. Scientists assume it was for religious ceremonies. In the area of Samhan, people use the feathers of a big bird as funerals. Like duck-shaped earthenware, it also represents the belief that birds lead the soul of the dead to heaven or hell, and also bring them the seed of cereals. From this, we know that old Koreans believed in an afterlife.
정도사지 5층 서탑 was in 경복궁 Palace on 세종로 종로구, Seoul. This is 4.63 meter tall and was made in 1031. The 50th roof stone is lost, and the date is marked on the top floor. It is moved to Seoul in 1924 and then was moved back to Daegu in 1994. As it contains one of Korea's old characters, the Edo, on its surface. The tower is used for studying old architecture and literature. It was designated as National Treasure Shop 357 in 1963.
The Daegu National Museum has information about and displays of artifacts of Hwa mask and the Baeshungun mask dance. The Baeshungun mask dance is a dance in which Korean traditional dancers wear masks and perform a dance dedicated to the gods. This dance started about 500 years ago. At that time, people with the last name Ha lived in the Hwa village. There was a big disaster, and Mr. Ha, a man in the village, had a dream. In his dream, God told him to make 12 masks and dance for the gods. This was the first time that the masks were made. To this day, there are people that perform a dance on special occasions such as the Hwa Mask Dance Festival.
This is a quick history of the cultural evolution of humans in Korea. People began to use stone tools and weapons for hunting. They would hammer and grind stones into sharp implements. During this period of history, people lived in caves and often migrated in search of food. Later on, humans began farming. Their technology evolved to include ceramic bowls, houses of straw, and clothing. These people left the caves they used to inhabit, built comfortable, permanent homes. When agriculture became sustainable in one place, they no longer traveled from place to place.
To explain the bronze mirror. The bronze mirror was used as a symbol. The beautiful side is cloud-shaped rings. The stripes crossed with each other to form a triangle, and the rounded lines curve gently. The scientific side is able to show on the light, show in the other side, and there are many ways to decorate it. The mirror can show the reflection of a face. The bronze mirror was used as in Bronze Age. The bronze mirror were used by priests to send evil spirits away.
Daegu National Museum has many kinds of relics. Many weapons are shown there. So I will introduce what weapons were important to Korean culture. Many weapons were found in Daegu and Gyeongbuk. The weapons were categorized as offensive and defensive. Offensive weapons include knife, bow, and spear. Defensive weapons include iron helmet, shield, and armor. All of these are at Daegu National Museum. The sword was about 80 to 100 centimeters long. Each very briefer, but each also very sharp. Most relics were corroded, but some weapons were found intact. The weapons at Daegu National Museums are a source of Daegu's pride.
People started to live around Daegu during the Stone Age. They used stone to make weapons and fire. They lived in the place where food was abundant. The old relics in this museum include past tools and weapons, along with the fully recreated homes. People live in dugout houses. People use tree trunks to make the structure and tree leaves to make a roof.
정도사지 5층 석탑 was found at Mount 황금원동, Mount 41, 수성구, Daegu on 11th January 21st to 1964. It is 4.60 centimeter high and it is made of granite. It is believed to have been made in the 11th century during Korea period. The tower was moved to Seoul Gyeongbuk-gu in 1963 and then it was moved back to Daegu National Museum in 1994. It is similar to towers made during Silla period as it has a narrow roof tone.
Poly is a functional craft that uses clay in a process involving a hot kiln to fire the parts in order to make them more durable. Before the invention of poly, people used wood, grease, and leather for vessels. However, poly led to the development of food preservation. In Korea, the first poly was made of mud and straw with patterns on the exterior surface. Ancient poly was found on southern and eastern coastlines of Korea. Cone pattern poly dates back 4,500 years. 3,500 years ago, The patterns were simple, but when the herringbone pottery was developed, the plain terracotta pots became the things of the past.
A rounding type bronze dagger. It's a kind of knife. It's made from bronze and is 40 centimeters long. This was used for hunting and warfare. This was found in the this was found nearby a dolmen, which suggests its owner was buried with it. It was found in the southern provinces of Korea. This was dated to being from the Bronze Age. Despite the name for the age, it's associated with the bronze was actually a rare metal. It suggested that the dagger belonged to someone rich and powerful.
Amitabha Buddha is made of gold, and this person is referred to as Korean God. But this is wrong. He was born human. This person founded Buddhism, and this is our traditional religion. About 1,400 years ago, we received Buddhism. Buddhism was first introduced to Korea through China during Goguryeo period, one of Korea's oldest ages in history. Amitabha Buddha's left hand is raised. This represents good luck. If Amitabha Buddha's right hand is up, this means wealth. This registered as Korea's national treasure number 27. A lot of gold was needed to make this particular sculpture. This is part of our country's traditional culture.
The earthenware was found in Shilla. It was divided into a grayish-blue earthenware and reddish-brown earthenware. The grayish-blue pottery was fired at the lower temperature of 1,200 degrees Celsius. It's thin, and when we hit it, it sounds metallic. Also, well-selected pottery can be made into a spinning wheel. The Shilla appears straighter than Gaya earthenware, and the gold is cross-pierced. We can make it look like a house, tower, or dock.
Armor and helmets are typical defensive weapons that are used with a shield. These are made of leather cast of cast iron. They are connected with screws. At one time, it was quite advanced technology. The two types are pangap and chalgap. Pangap is made with relatively sheets of iron and connected with screws. Chalgap is made with scales, which are made of connected metal connected with leather. Chalgap is lightweight, and foot soldiers wore these, while pangap is heavier and was worn by horsemen. There were different types of helmets, including 만곡, 종장판주, 자양주, and tubular.
In the Bronze Age, there was a lot of bronzeware. There were dolmens too. A dolmen is a patriarch's grave. A dolmen shows that the patriarch was a very powerful man. A dolmen built during at the Bronze Age. Many dolmens were in downtown areas, but now there are only handful. The typical Daegu dolmen was made out of many different stones. One can find at this Daegu National Museum.
Daegu National Cultural Heritage Museum contains research and exhibitions to preserve the past. It opened on December 7, 1994. 고고실, 민속실, art and other cultural assets of 3 of the gallery exhibits. Some displays displays models of our
The Jongdo-saji Stone Pagoda in Daegu National Museum was covered during the 11th Taepyeong era. It was at the time of the discovery Logyu Saribyang and Donghap. A document written at the time of the Silla period was found at the top of the pagoda. It gave details about the pagoda's construction. It was an odd document because it was made using the Iju style of writing. It was at Gyeongbok Palace in 1924 and it was carried to Daegu National Museum in 1994. It was built at 1031 and has 2 stories.
Gilt bronze Buddha statue was first discovered in Gwaamyeon, Gumi. It was made sometime around the end of 7th century and the beginning of 8th century. Scholars guess that it was made during the Silla dynasty. The creases on the cloth of the icon give it an impression of tightness and simplicity. It is a national treasure archived as number 182. It is about 40 centimeters tall. The left hand is spread and the right hand makes a circle.
Like TV,